Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Oops, My English, the podcast that makes learning English easy and enjoyable. Interesting topics, real conversations, real English. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo. Thanks for being here with us. We've got a really good one again for you today.
So, Leo, can I be honest with you about something?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Last week, I had one of those days where I just felt completely stuck, like I was trying to move forward, but my feet were glued to the floor. I had things to do, goals I wanted to work on, but I just couldn't. I sat at my desk for hours and did almost nothing. It was frustrating.
I know exactly what you mean. That feeling where you want to do something, you know you should do something, but something inside you just won't let you move. It's like being trapped in invisible glue.
Yes, exactly like that. And the worst part is that the longer you stay stuck, the worse you feel. You start thinking, Roan, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just do this simple thing?
And then you feel guilty, which makes you feel even more stuck. It becomes a cycle.
It really does. So that's what we're talking about today, that feeling of being stuck. Why it happens, what it feels like, and most importantly, how to get unstuck.
I think this is something everyone experiences at some point. Whether it's feeling stuck in your job, stuck in your studies, stuck in a relationship, or just stuck in life in general. It's a very human experience.
And for English learners, this feeling can be very familiar. You study and study, but you feel like you're not improving. You know more words, but you still can't speak fluently. That's a kind of being stuck too.
So let's talk about it. Maybe we can help each other and our listeners find some ways through it.
I'd like that. Okay, so first let's talk about what being stuck actually means. How would you describe it, Leo?
For me, being stuck feels like being in the middle of nowhere with no clear direction. You're not moving forward, you're not moving backward, you're just standing still. And standing still feels uncomfortable because you know you should be going somewhere.
I think that's a good description. It's not the same as being lazy, right? Lazy is when you don't want to do anything and you're okay with it. But stuck is different. When you're stuck, you want to move. You want to make progress. But something is blocking you.
Yes, that's an important difference. Stuck people aren't lazy. They're often very frustrated because they care. They want things to change. They just don't know how to make it happen.
So why do we get stuck? What causes this feeling?
I think there are many reasons. Sometimes it's fear. You're afraid to take the next step because you might fail, or you might look stupid, or something might go wrong. So instead of risking it, you just stay where you are.
Fear is a big one. I've definitely stayed stuck because I was scared. Scared of making the wrong decision. Scared of what people would think. Scared of the unknown. It felt safer to just stay in place, even though staying in place was making me unhappy.
Another reason is feeling overwhelmed. When you have too many things to do or too many choices, your brain kind of shuts down. You don't know where to start, so you don't start at all.
Oh, I relate to that so much. Sometimes I make these huge to-do lists with 20 things on them, and then I look at the list and I feel so overwhelmed that I end up doing nothing. The list that was supposed to help me actually makes me more stuck.
It's like standing in front of a buffet with 100 dishes. You're hungry, but there are so many options that you can't decide what to eat. So you just stand there with an empty plate.
That's a perfect picture. Too many choices can freeze us. Sometimes having fewer options is actually better.
Another thing that makes people stuck is perfectionism. This idea that if you can't do something perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. So you wait and wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, and they never come.
Perfectionism is a trap. I used to think it was a good quality. I have high standards, but actually it was just an excuse to never finish anything. I would start projects and never complete them because they weren't perfect enough.
And the truth is, nothing is ever perfect. Done is better than perfect. A finished thing that's not perfect is more valuable than a perfect thing that only exists in your head.
That's so true. I had to learn that the hard way. Now I try to remind myself that progress is better than perfection. Just take one step, even if it's a messy step.
What else makes people feel stuck?
I think sometimes people feel stuck because they've lost their why. They forgot the reason they started something in the first place. They're going through the motions, doing things automatically, but they don't feel connected to it anymore.
That happens with jobs a lot. You start a job and you're excited. You have energy, ideas, motivation. Then years pass and you're still doing the same thing every day. But you can't remember why. The spark is gone.
And when the spark is gone, everything feels heavy. Getting out of bed feels hard. Going to work feels hard. Even things you used to enjoy feel like a burden.
So what do we do about all this? How do we get unstuck?
Well, I've tried a lot of things over the years. Some worked, some didn't, but I can share what helped me.
Please do. I'm sure our listeners would love to hear it.
The first thing that helps me is to just admit that I'm stuck. It sounds simple, but it's actually hard. We often pretend everything is fine. We tell ourselves, I'm just tired or I'll feel better tomorrow. But sometimes you need to stop and say, okay, I'm stuck. This is real. I need to deal with it.
That makes sense. You can't fix a problem you won't admit you have. Acknowledging it is the first step.
Exactly. Once I admit I'm stuck, I feel a little lighter, like I've stopped fighting myself. I'm not pretending anymore.
What's the next step after admitting it?
For me, the next step is to get really small. When I feel stuck on something big, I break it down into the tiniest possible action. Not finish the project, but open the document. Not learn English, but learn one word. Not fix my life, but take a shower and drink some water.
I love that approach. When everything feels too big, make it small. So small that it feels almost silly. Because once you do that tiny thing, you've started moving. And movement creates more movement.
Yes, that's the key. Movement creates momentum. Once you take one small step, the next step feels easier. Then the next one. Before you know it, you're not stuck anymore. You're walking.
I have something that helps me too. When I feel stuck, I change my environment. I go somewhere different. If I've been sitting at my desk all day feeling stuck, I go outside for a walk, or I go to a coffee shop, or I just move to a different room.
That's a good one. Sometimes we associate certain places with certain feelings. If you've been feeling stuck at your desk for 3 hours, your brain starts to think, this desk is a stuck place. Moving somewhere else can reset your mind.
It's not magic. It doesn't solve everything, but it helps. Fresh air, new scenery, a change of environment. It can shift something inside you.
What else helps you when you're stuck?
Talking to someone. This is big for me. When I'm stuck, my thoughts go round and round in circles inside my head. The same worries, the same doubts, the same questions over and over. But when I talk to a friend and say it out loud, suddenly it doesn't seem so complicated.
Yes, I've experienced that too. Sometimes you just need to hear yourself say it. And sometimes the other person says something simple that changes your whole perspective. They see things you can't see because you're too close to the problem.
Exactly. We're often too inside our own heads. An outside perspective can be really valuable. And even if the other person doesn't have advice, just feeling heard and understood helps.
It does. Knowing you're not alone with your struggles makes them feel lighter.
Another thing that helps me is remembering that being stuck is temporary. It feels permanent when you're in it. You think, I'll be stuck forever. This is my life now. But it's not true. Everything changes. Feelings change. Situations change. This stuck feeling will pass.
That's such an important reminder. When I'm stuck, I feel like it's going to last forever. But when I look back at my life, I can see all the times I felt stuck before and somehow got through it. I didn't know how at the time, but I did. So I'll probably get through this one too.
Looking back can give you confidence. You've survived hard things before. You've felt stuck before and found your way. You can do it again.
Okay, here's something a bit different that I want to share. Sometimes when I feel stuck, I ask myself a question. What am I avoiding? Because sometimes being stuck is not about not knowing what to do. It's about not wanting to do it.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you explain more?
Sure. So sometimes I feel stuck, but if I'm really honest with myself, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm just avoiding it because it's uncomfortable or scary or difficult. The stuck feeling is actually my brain protecting me from doing the hard thing.
So the stuck feeling is like a cover story. Your brain says, I don't know what to do, but really it means I don't want to do what I need to do.
Exactly. And once I realize that, I can deal with it differently. Instead of asking, what should I do? I ask, what am I afraid of? Or what am I avoiding? That's often where the real answer is.
That's really insightful. Being honest with yourself about what you're avoiding, that takes courage.
It does, but it's worth it. Because once you name the thing you're avoiding, it loses some of its power. It's not this big scary shadow anymore. It's just a thing. A hard thing maybe, but just a thing.
Okay, I want to talk about something that I think is really important. Sometimes people feel stuck because they're comparing themselves to others. They see someone else's success and think, why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me?
Social media makes this so much worse. Everyone posts their best moments, their achievements, their happy faces. And you sit there feeling stuck while everyone else seems to be living their best life.
But what you don't see is that those people also have stuck moments. They have bad days. They have doubts and fears. They just don't post about it. You're comparing your inside to their outside. It's not a fair comparison.
That's so true. Everyone struggles. Everyone feels stuck sometimes. The people who look like they have it all figured out are often just better at hiding their struggles.
So when you feel stuck, try not to compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself. Are you better than you were yesterday, last month, last year? That's the only comparison that matters.
I love that. Your only competition is who you were yesterday.
All right, let's talk about one more thing. What if you've been stuck for a really long time? Not just a day or a week, but months or even years. What then?
That's a tough situation. I think if someone has been stuck for a very long time, they might need more than just tips and tricks. They might need to make a bigger change. Maybe they're in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, the wrong city. Maybe something fundamental needs to shift.
And that's scary. Big changes are terrifying.
It's easier to stay stuck in something familiar than to jump into something unknown. It is. But sometimes staying stuck is actually more painful than making the change. You're suffering either way. At least if you make a change, you have a chance of finding something better.
That reminds me of a saying. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. You can stay safe and stuck, or you can take a risk and actually go somewhere.
I love that saying. It's true. We're not built to stay stuck. We're built to move, to grow, to explore. Staying in one place forever goes against our nature.
So if you've been stuck for a long time, maybe it's time to ask yourself some bigger questions. Is this the right path for me? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? What do I really want?
Those questions are uncomfortable, but they can also be freeing. Sometimes just allowing yourself to imagine a different life can start to break the stuck feeling.
Okay, Mia, let's give our listeners some quick reminders before we finish.
Good idea. So, reminder number 1, feeling stuck is normal. Everyone feels this way sometimes. You're not broken. You're human.
Reminder number 2. Stuck is different from lazy. Stuck people want to move but feel blocked. Don't be hard on yourself.
Reminder number 3. Common causes of stuck feelings are fear, feeling overwhelmed, perfectionism, and losing your why.
Reminder number 4. To get unstuck, start by admitting you're stuck, then take the smallest possible action. Movement creates momentum.
Reminder number 5. Change your environment. Talk to someone. Remember that stuck feelings are temporary. Ask yourself what you're avoiding.
Reminder number 6. Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were before. That's the only fair comparison.
And reminder number 7. If you've been stuck for a very long time, maybe something bigger needs to change. Don't be afraid to ask yourself the hard questions.
Beautiful. I think that covers a lot.
I hope this episode helps someone who's feeling stuck right now. You're not alone. We all go through this.
And if you're stuck with your English learning, the same rules apply. Take small steps. Celebrate small progress. Don't compare yourself to others. Keep going.
Okay, listeners, we have a question for you.
Yes. What do you do when you feel stuck? Do you have any tips or tricks that help you? Or maybe you're feeling stuck right now and you want to share what's going on.
Write in the comments. Your experience might help another learner who's going through the same thing.
And if this episode helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this today.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. You didn't waste it. You invested it in yourself.
We're proud of you for being here and learning with us.
This was Oops My English with Mia and Leo.
Until next time, keep moving forward, even if it's just one tiny step.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.